All right. Apparently, we're getting information that the New York Jets might be close to signing Dalvin Cook. Um, it's a lot of rumors, but things are picking up this morning. One thing is there's a picture of him sent to me by a friend that most of you know, Gunny, where on Instagram there's a picture of Dalvin Cook that looks like he's at the he says he's at the facility. My problem is it's a staircase, so I don't know how anybody can tell, but it does kind of look like from the show like the staircase, but it looks like it could be in any gym. It's if you go to Dalvin Cook's page on Instagram and you look at his story at the very end after he's having like this holding up leg contest with this female athlete, and he loses to her. There's a quick glimpse of him like drinking coffee and walking up a staircase. Now the claim is that's the Jets. That's One Forum Drive. I don't know how or if that's been confirmed, but so a couple of people seem to be pretty confident that it's Jets Drive. He's following Woody Johnson now, which is interesting. There's just some things going on that's suggesting that based on Twitter activity. Greeny's wife, Greeny, the New York beat guy that loves the Jets, made a post on Twitter that he told two people online that the Jets are going to sign Dalvin Cook. So we're trying to figure out if there's any truth to this. I don't know. It would be pretty big news. I don't want to read too much into it. Like I don't know if is that bad news for Brees Hall? Does that mean they're not confident in his progress, or is it just common sense that when somebody tears their ACL and gets surgery, you're not going to give them the workload that you would normally give a second year running back, and it's even if it only takes a few games, even if he's ready to play week one, maybe the thought process is guys coming off an ACL, it'd be good to have another proven running back with years of production. So that would be the explanation of why. Um, I don't feel like it necessarily means that they have no confidence that Brees Hall will be okay this year. But it definitely shows that there'll be some that there's some kind of concern. Because why else would they sign him? And at the very least, it would just be that they feel that he's not going to carry the normal workload and they have to have more depth and they want a more solid running back. It's surprising. We considered their running back a pretty solid room. They drafted Israel Adakawanda. Michael Carter had a decent rookie year. He tapered off at the end last year. Bam Knight showed some promise last year, tapered off. We all know why these running backs tapered off at the end of last year. They pretty much the defenses we were playing against stacked the box. They had 8, 9 guys in the box. The offensive line was decimated. It's not a coincidence that the running game started to suffer, but Dalvin Cook is a proven veteran wide receiver. The Jets are going all in, and if he's gettable on a 1-year deal without a lot of commitment, and gives us that insurance policy, it's an understandable move. It's a sense it makes sense move. I don't think it's a giant needle moving move if Brees Hall is healthy, because I think Brees Hall is better than Dalvin Cook, honestly. But Dalvin Cook is has he had 1 year he was spectacular. He's a decent dangerous receiving running back. He can catch passes out of the backfield. He's solids, averages over 4 yards a carry in his career. Going to 27. So he is getting into that scary part of his career for a running back, but it feels like, like last year, there was no indication that he wouldn't be able to be productive. Now, he wouldn't have the same expectations placed on him because we wouldn't need him to do it for an entire year. Assuming Brees Hall's going to, we would know if there was, we're not at the point where we're thinking Brees Hall's not going to be contributing and playing on this team this year. So we're not asking as much, I don't think, from Dalvin Cook. If Brees Hall is healthy, what a 1-2 punch. Imagine having Brees Hall, healthy, and then having Dalvin Cook, change of pace running back when you give him a break. It's pretty crazy. And then the running back room is pretty sick after that, whether it be Michael Carter, Bam Knight, and Israel. I don't know who makes the team, who gets cut, who's on the practice squad. But, the depth becomes absolutely off the charts. I see Klecko is here. Jets Mess is here. Hank G is here. What's going on, guys? I see you down there. Sean Mackett's here. So yeah, I see some of you already like saying, "Oh, I'd rather go for this guy. I'd rather go for that guy." Look, I don't know if it's happening. It just seems to be that it's heating up. I have a feeling that it might happen at any moment. So it's not about, I think we're beyond the point of we as fans of what we want to see happen. We're not really speculating on whether or not, it's a thing that we should do. We're speculating more on the reality of, are the Jets really doing this? I'll say it again if you weren't here from the beginning, there's a tremendous high volume of Twitter activity. I'm getting questions from everybody. My phone was lighting up on Twitter. I got in my regular phone instant message, people asking me, did you hear anything? Please find out. Is he coming? And the only thing I have is, a picture of him. What the claim is that he's in Florham Park. I just don't know how. I'm trying to find out why that's the claim, and who's recognizing the fact that who's recognizing that Florham Park based on him standing in a stairwell. Like, I don't know. I don't see any signs on the walls or anything that indicates it's Florham Park. But I know my friend Gunny, and he must know something. He wouldn't say it for no reason. So I'm just trying to find out from him. He's probably at work. He's busy, so I can't get a response. So I'm just trying to find out, what's indicating that that's Florham Park. There definitely is a picture of Dalvin Cook holding a cup of coffee in what looks to be a workout facility. Now that could be any gym in America, right? I mean, there's a lot of places that look like that, but I don't know. Maybe somebody recognized it. Maybe somebody's confirming it. There were rumors that Garrett Wilson was woke up this morning feeling good. I looked at his Twitter. I couldn't find anything that indicated, that he was thinking anything big was going to happen today. The only thing I see are the things a lot of you are seeing. I'm seeing the pictures and the tweets of what's going on and what was said on the Pat McCaffrey show. But definitely other people now. It's starting to come from other sources when Greeny is in on it and he's telling people online, I think at like a supermarket or deli, that his wife has a picture of him claiming he's telling people the Jets are signing Dalvin Cook. That Greeny has a lot of inside information, a lot of that he talks to a lot of people on the inside. And why would he just, it's just like, why is he making that up? He didn't say, I think they're signing him. He said the Jets are going to sign Cook, and apparently they're talking like it's going to happen soon. So it could happen at any moment. It might be one of you in the chat that tells me, Jeremy, it was just announced, because I'm unable to do this and talk to you at the same time as follow if there's any progress. But I did want to throw it out there. If anybody has information they want to share, please go ahead and do it. You see Harry W's in there. Keep your eyes on Twitter. It might happen today. We can talk. I'm sure we're gonna have a lot of. If it happens, there'll be a lot of time to talk about it on a lot of people's channels. Specifically, the Thursday Thick of It is on tonight, so that if it happens today, there'll be a lot of discussion about this and what people think. But again, it's not a matter of our opinion of what we think they should do that we're talking about here. We're no longer saying, should the Jets sign Dalvin Cook? I am literally just reacting to the reality that we might be signing Dalvin Cook. That there seems to be activity that's going beyond just the normal rumors. With it's a lot of people say, oh, we're reaching, we're speculating, but like, why is Woody Johnson all of a sudden following him on Twitter? Like, there just seems to be a lot of activity, a lot of new follows going on, and it seems to be pointing to the possibility that something's going on, that talks are heating up. I would love to know if he's really at the facility. This kind of thing, don't be surprised. I mean, this kind of thing, he's in the facility doesn't mean we're signing him. I mean, the Dolphins might call his agent and just give in, and maybe they already talked about a price. The Dolphins said, we don't think we're going to do that. And if they hear he's in the Jets facility, they can call up the agent and say, get him out of there because we'll do it. Here's $8 million or whatever it is. So there's a lot of until we hear that there's a signature on a contract, everything is just hearsay. But it would be interesting if he's actually in Florham Park, because at the very least, it would mean we're more than just looking into the player. We're more than just having a phone conversation with an agent of a player. It means that we're very serious and we're strongly considering signing him, which is a bit of a surprise to me. I didn't think the Jets would be that interested. I really didn't. I thought they were fine with their room. Again, I don't want to read into it too much, but if they sign him, it tells me that while they're confident that Brees Hall is recovering, they might not be as confident that he'll be ready from week one to be a full on, a full running back, that, like a full workhorse running back. And keep in mind, even with a healthy Brees Hall, the philosophy, of the West Coast offense and, the way this team started to build was they wanted to have multiple running backs. And I think in the NFL, we're seeing more of that. And especially after an ACL injury, it's totally understandable that the Jets wouldn't want to make Brees Hall a workhorse week one. And if you're going to rely on another running back and there's a veteran running back available with proven consistent production with four 1,000 yard seasons plus, in the past 4 years, it's understandable, like when you're going for it and you're pushing all your chips in the middle of the table, that you'd look into him and be very serious about the possibility of adding him to make the team better. Some might argue he doesn't make the team that much better. I would argue that regardless of his own talent, he definitely adds depth at the very least. He gives you that security that you have a proven established running back if Brees Hall is not able to play in the first 6 games of the season or 5 games or 8 games or whatever it is, or if he's not completely ready to have a heavy load, it certainly makes the team stronger to have a proven veteran, a veteran running back. We're not talking about a 30-year-old or even a 29-year-old yet. We're talking about a 27-year-old who hasn't shown a strong indication that he's done. We know based on recent history that running backs at this age, you have to start worrying about them declining. But we haven't seen that happen to him yet. He had 1,100 yards rushing last year. So he was a productive running back in the NFL last year. So we're going to find out real soon if he's a New York Jet. Just wanted to fill everybody in, let everybody know that there's a possibility that this is happening. So keep your ears and eyes open. I know I will be. Good to see you, John Nolte. Good to see you here. Hank G. Snowball joined. Guys, there's just a lot of activity. I don't know if, for those of you not on Twitter or Instagram, it's kind of like a way, it's a new source or it's a source of information where we find out things way before you're going to see it pop up as a headline. So we will keep you updated. I know I will stay updated. I will continue to check Twitter, Instagram. I'm looking for that final nail in the coffin, the evidence that it's really happening. Again, it's so far, it's still hearsay. It's just that it's really heating up. It seems to be coming from a lot of different places. And, we've said it many times in the past, where there's smoke, there tends to be fire. And right now, there's a tremendous amount of smoke. So, again, it's just that he's visiting. We don't know that they'll sign him. We've seen many guys come into Florham Park, leave Florham Park, and then nothing happens. And some of them never sign. Some of them sign 2 weeks later. We saw how long Moses sat there after he visited us and came into the building. We saw Dwayne Brown come into the building and not sign right away and take a lot of time. So we don't, he could very easily sign right away, or he could very easily sign somewhere else, or you might see us sign him in 10 days. If it's true that he's even visiting us. I do think, based on the activity, there's certainly been some interest. I seriously doubt we're misreading this to the point where the Jets have shown absolutely zero interest in this guy, based on what we're seeing. So We will stay updated during the day. I'll come back on if I have to. I'm sure some other guys are going to jump on. You know, there are going to be videos right away if we end up getting Dalvin Cook. So keep your eyes open. And then if the Jets end up signing him, we'll certainly have a discussion on what everybody's take is and how, we'll do some live, be green on Green Bean tonight. I'm sure everybody will get to the opportunity to express their opinion. But hey, if we give him a similar offer to a lot of other teams and he signs with the Jets, it's more evidence about how we're being perceived by the players in the NFL. And that's always a good thing. And what's always a good thing, and as always, I will end this short broadcast by saying, go Jets.